Hey guys, it's Dani, and I know that we are now officially all back to school and back to work and back to routines and schedules. So I wanted to share some of my current favorite snacks from Trader Joe's because I find this time of year, people tend to really be looking for convenient snacks and things that make life a little easier as our schedules tend to get a little bit busier. So I've got 10 of my favorites here today and we're gonna jump right in. So the first one I'm gonna chat about is a new one to me. I just found this one. It's their whole grain crisp breads. And basically these suckers are just made of sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, rye flour, oat bran, oatmeal. It's a whole bunch of whole grains, a little bit of salt, and then some fresh herbs, the oregano and the thyme. And what I love about them is they're really nice and hearty, and they're all the seeds you can taste and feel throughout the crisp. So let me show you one. So you can see they're like these little rectangles. And what I like to do with them is one of two things. I'll either mash some avocado over the top, and if I had a few hard-boiled eggs, I like to slice one of those on top as well. That makes a really quick, convenient, delicious snack or breakfast. Or the other thing I really like with these crisps is a little shmear of cream cheese and some fresh tomatoes. We still have tons of tomatoes coming out of the garden, so it's a really delicious seasonal snack for me right now, and I'm very much enjoying that. So that is snack number one. Another snack that I have really been loving are these RXBARs, and they come in lots of different flavors. As a matter of fact, I think there's 11 different varieties altogether. Usually what I do is I just grab all the different flavors that they have on the shelf because I like to keep a little variety in the house, and I find myself turning to these a lot of different times throughout the week. They are great for a breakfast on the go. They're a great pre or post workout snack. I think they're also great to like toss in a backpack, or if you're running out, even if you're going on a plane or you're going hiking, because it's the kind of snack that doesn't need to stay cold, and it's a real rib sticker. But more to the point of what I really enjoy about them is their simple ingredient list. I'm not a huge bar person because usually they have a lot of fillers and preservatives, or a lot of additives, and these bars do not have that, so I am a big fan. And on the front of all the bars you'll see that it actually lists like the base ingredients in the bar. So basically with this bar you're eating 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 4 cashews, and 2 dates, and this flavor is the chocolate coconut. And then if you go on the back and you see what else is in there, it's literally the cacao powder, a little sea salt, and the coconut. So it's a very clean bar. Ooh, and it says no gluten, no soy, no dairy, no added sugar. So it to me is as natural, as much as a whole food as you're gonna get in something that's a processed bar. It's a minimally processed bar. My current personal favorite flavor is the coconut chocolate, and I'm gonna show you guys. I want you to see the texture of the bar here. You can see that it's firm, but it's still a little bit chewy, and then it has these nice bite-sized pieces of nuts and chocolate chips throughout the bar. So it's sweet and it's savory and it has a very good texture. Chewy, crunchy, sweet, even a little salty. Great balance. Big fan. And as you will see, this is one of the only products that I'm highlighting today that's not made by Trader Joe's. So I reached out to them, and the kind people at the RXBAR establishment agreed to give anybody in the Clean and Delicious community 25% off your first order. So if you guys want to take advantage of that, go ahead and go to rxbar.com/clean and use promo code CLEAN when you check out, and you'll get 25% off your first order. And I say if you're gonna do it, stock up on them because these bars come in handy. The next snack that I'm totally loving are these sweet and spicy pecans. Now, I don't really just like take a handful of these and snack on them per se, but what I love to do with these is add them to salads, even a little sprinkle on top of a soup, or even what I'm obsessed with is making like a baked sweet potato and then crushing some of these up and sprinkling it over the top. It literally tastes like the holidays. They are crunchy, and then they have this sweet flavor, and then you get a little kick of heat. So, and the texture is so good. So if you're trying to find ways to work more vegetables in your diet or more salads, Keeping little flavorful ingredients like this on hand and using them as finishing touches is a great way to get that job done. Highly recommend it. Okay, next up are the dried fruit. Now, I know this isn't like a brand new idea, getting dry fruit as a snack, but let me tell you why I like dried fruit so much. A lot of people think that you shouldn't have dry fruit because it has too much sugar and it's too condensed and stuff like that. But what I love about dried fruit is I like to think of dried fruit as nature's candy, right? So sometimes when you have a sweet tooth or you're really looking for something, I find dried fruit is a really good, natural, whole food way to get the job done. And as a matter of fact, years ago, I'm talking like 10 years ago, when I first started to really transition to all whole foods, I was a big candy-aholic, like chewy candies, like gummies and Twizzlers and things like that. And so when I started to shift my focus to quality foods, instead of trying to deprive myself from having those things, and I would buy dried fruits instead of the gummy candies. And then when I wanted it, I would eat these instead. And it really helped to kind of transition me off of the processed candies. And then eventually I didn't even want the sweets as much. And I think that's because the dried fruit, it's a more natural, gentle sweetener in the body, and so the cravings don't feel as strong. And if you've never tried the dried figs before, hang on a second. They literally taste like a fig Newton. Just look at the inside of this. Have you ever seen a fig Newton, guys? That's what the inside of a dried fig looks like, the inside of a fig Newton. So if you like fig Newtons, you will love a dried fig. And if you want to get really crazy, try dipping some in dark chocolate and then letting them set up in the fridge and then keeping them as a sweet treat like that. And the last note on the mango is you will see at the store, a lot of times they have mangoes that have added sugars to the dried mango. So you always want to check your ingredients. Like this bag, it's called just mango slices. And in the ingredients, it's dried mangoes. No added sugars, no added oils. So that's what you want to keep in mind also when you're buying your dried fruits, that the only ingredient listed is the fruit. Now, the next snack that I've discovered is the dolmas. And if you're not familiar with this, it's basically rice stuffed in vine leaves, which I think are the same as grape leaves. Now, I would never in a million years think that you could buy these in a can and that they would be good. And probably left to my own devices, I would have never picked them up, except my girlfriend had bought them and she was raving about them. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna give them a try. And I was so surprised at how good they are. So basically, here, take a look at them. You can see it's got this green leaf on the outside and you cut into it and you can see the rice on the inside. And I feel like these have a really great texture and they have a great flavor. They're a little bit tangy. They have a little bit of a bite to them. But what's nice is I think for something that comes in a can that is this convenient, it's kind of like a whole food option on the go, right? It's like a pantry. It's like a tier 2. Right? And you could take these out, you could put them on top of a salad. If you were making some chicken or fish for dinner, you could serve them as a side. Sometimes I just take them out and I'll slice them in half and give them to my kids as a snack. So it's just a nice alternative to what we conventionally think of when we think of snacks. Next up is the Healthy 8, and this is a chopped veggie mix. Now, as we know, if there's anything we all need to be conscious of and working on adding more of to our diets, it's hands down vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. Why don't we eat more vegetables? It's not ultra convenient for many people. So I think little things like this can really help get the job done. So first off, let me tell you what's in here. It's literally just chopped broccoli, carrots, green cabbage, red cabbage, jicama, green bell pepper, radish, and celery. So you're getting 8 super nourishing vegetables all chopped up and ready to go. And you could do a bazillion things with this package, right? Some of the things I like to do is I'll throw them in a pan, do a quick saute, and then add them to some eggs in the morning. Great way to start your day with a good punch of vegetables. You could use them along with a salad. So if you're making a simple salad and you just take a scoop of this and mix it in, it adds great texture, it adds good flavor, and it gives you a big nutrient boost. Another thing I like to do if I'm doing like a quick soup or a can of soup, I'll saute this first and then add it to. If I'm making some frozen rice or if I'm making quinoa, again, quick saute, mix it in, give it a little soy sauce, You've just added a ton of flavor and a ton of nutrients to your base dish. Another thing I really like to do with this is add it to my tuna or my salmon salads. So if you do like canned tuna or canned salmon, instead of chopping all your veggies, you just take a big old scoop of this and mix it right in. Then you could do a little bit of mayo or Greek yogurt, and you have yourself a super fast salad that's rich in protein and packed with vegetables. So something like this, keeping it on hand, I think is a great way to help work those veggies into the diet without having to put a lot of effort, right? So it's easy, it's convenient, and it's delicious. And working my way around the table here, next up I have this seed and bean medley, which is so good. I think it's brand new. I don't think I've ever seen this one at Trader Joe's before. It's a crunchy, salty mixture of pumpkin seeds, corn, chickpeas, fava beans, edamame, and dried peas. It's got a great texture to it. It's super crunchy and very salty, which I think is a lot of times what we're looking for when we just kind of want to munch or we want some type of snack. So I think it's a great alternative to something, say, with a lot of refined carbohydrates in it. The only thing I would keep in mind with prepackaged snacks like this is that 9 out of 10 times they are made with vegetable oils. And when we get too many vegetable oils in the diet, we tend to throw off our omega-3 and omega-6 ratio balance. And so it's important not to overdo the packaged snacks, especially those with vegetable oils. But B, it's important to be making sure that you're working a lot of those healthy omega-3 fatty acids into your diet. So think avocados, flax seeds, salmon, chia seeds. All of those types of foods are going to help boost the omega-3s in your body and help to keep that ratio in balance. And back to these for just a second. Not only do I love to just kind of snack on them, 1, 2, 3, but again, these are great like sprinkled on top of a salad or even some soup because they add such a great texture. Sometimes it's not just about the flavor, it's about the texture. You know what I'm saying? Next up, I have seasoned kale chips that are dressed with cashew butter and tahini. Now, kale chips, they used to be all the rage and maybe they're making their way back. I love myself a kale chip. I just think it is so great. I love the texture. And I also think if you're gonna have a chip, why not have a kale chip? Because in my opinion, every little bit counts. So yes, I know some people say they're cooked, they're packaged, all the nutrients are gone. Hey, there is still some nutritional value in that kale chip. And in this clean and delicious kitchen, it counts. And they are delicious. And what I really like about this particular snack is that there are no added oils. So all the fat that is in this bag, it's coming from the cashews and the tahini. So they're more whole, intact forms of fat. So I'm a big fan of that as well. These are great alongside a sandwich or some soup with lunch, or if you're having a salad. Again, I'm a big fan of adding flavors and textures, so I'll take some of these and just kind of sprinkle them right on top of my salad. Absolutely delicious. I'll sneak some into my kids' lunch boxes. They're really just a fun, more nutritious way to enjoy a snack. Okay, we're down to our last 2 snacks. The next up are hearts of palm. Have you guys ever tried these before? I am a huge fan, and basically what hearts of palm is the ripe intersection of a palm tree. They're a little bit crunchy and they're also tender, and what they really remind me of is like an artichoke heart. So what I do is I buy these and then I'll do a few different things. I'll either just put them on a snack plate, like I'll put a few of these cut into rounds with maybe some carrots and some pickles and some olives and maybe a little bit of sliced cheese, and it's just a little fun little noshing plate. I enjoy having that. My kids enjoy having that. I also like adding them to a salad, or I will literally just open up this jar and just slice one up and snack on it because it's so good. They have a little tangy flavor to them, and really, like I said before, the best way to describe them is like artichoke hearts. So I'm so curious if you guys have ever tried these before. If so, give this video a big thumbs up or come down to the comments below and let me know. And then last but not least, this snack is a drink. It's the organic and raw kombucha. So if you've never had kombucha before, it's a fermented tea and it has natural enzymes and probiotics in it. So it's really good for the gut, and it comes in a lot of different flavors. So this one is the ginger aid. This is the first time I ever saw these at Trader Joe's. Now it may just be because I wasn't looking, I'm not sure, but I was super excited to see them there because I am a huge fan of these. I think they are such a great drink. They're very like soothing, and they're also very refreshing. And like I said before, because they have the natural probiotics in them, they're also good for the gut. And these are really great, especially if you're somebody who's trying to get off of drinking diet soda or high sugary drinks, because they have a lot of flavor, they have a little bubbly to them, and they only have 2 grams of sugar per serving, which is good compared to soda, right? So this whole bottle would have 4 grams of sugar. So it's really something to think about if that is something you're working on. I know I get a lot of personal emails and messages about how to kick the soda habit. Something like this is a great way to baby step your way out of that habit. So my friends, that is what I have for you today. 10 of my current favorite snacks from Trader Joe's. I would love to hear your thoughts. Which ones have you tried? Which ones do you think you may try? Or more importantly, what are some of your current favorite snacks? Come on down to the comments below and let me know. And if you have not already, please subscribe, like, and share this video with anyone else you know who wants to keep healthy eating easy. And don't forget, I have that special discount code for you guys down in the description box below. You can save 25% on your first order of RXBAR. So if you want to try them out, make sure to check that out as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Dani Spees. I'll see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers. And eventually I didn't even want it as much because I think because the natural, and then eventually I didn't really even want it that much. Isn't this fun? Whole intact forms of fat. So I'm a big fan of that as well. Okay. I want to that chance. A little bit bubbly, like they have a little effervescence, and they are a little bit bubbly. They have a little I'm so Jersey, effervescence. How do you say that word?